Today I'm gonna sew a dice bag because all my friends are nerds. For this project, you're gonna want some nice outer canvas fabric and some lining. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go buy dice fabric for this project, but if you happen to have any, this is the time to use it. Next, you wanna make your pattern. So what we're making here is a nice, simple drawstring bag. It'll look something like this. The drawstring casing will go here, little string here, little string here. So first we need to design our pattern, and what we need to decide is how high and how wide we want it. I'm gonna go with 3 inches here and 5 inches here. I don't have any paper big enough to make my pattern, so I'm taping these two together. That is not centered. Perfect. So the first thing I'm gonna do is measure down 5 inches, 3 inches, and 5 inches. That's because it's gonna represent the first side, the bottom, and the second side. I know I want my bag to be 3 inches wide, so I'm gonna measure 1.5 inches away from each center line and then draw a line all the way across. Side, center, side. So right now I only have 2 sides and I need 4, so I'm gonna add half of one side to each one of here, and here. So to do this, I'm just gonna measure out 1.5 inches. And voila, I have my pattern. 3 inches, 5 inches, 10 inches, and 1.5 inches for reference. But obviously, this can be sized to fit any sort of bag you want. And then I just sewed everything together. This totally matches my sweater right now. Next, we need to sew here and here. Beautiful sewn line. So next I'm gonna pull this open a little bit and then sew that flat right across there. Then we have a bag. Now we're gonna do the same thing with the lining. One small change, when sewing this one, I left a teeny hole right here. That way I can turn it inside out later. Next, I'm gonna place these right sides together, which means I'm gonna put this inside of this. I'm just gonna sew all the way around the edge here. Now I'm gonna turn it inside out. If you wanted, you could stop here and just have a really nice fabric square, but I'm gonna iron it and sew stuff for a drawstring. So next I need to sew my casing for my string. So what I'm gonna do is sew 2 parallel lines about this big apart, big enough for the little string to fit through. You can see my little casing lines all the way around. Next what I'm gonna do is unstitch that seam right there, and that seam right there, and that's where it's gonna allow my string to go through and all the way around. Next, you wanna take your string, attach a safety pin, and feed it all the way through and around your bag. I wish I really had a safety pin right now. I bought some safety pins so I could finish this project. I also got some cord that's thinner because this paracord is kind of thick. Safety pin, cord. Now let's do this. Hooray! For the last step, you'll want to sew the hole in the lining that you turned inside out from closed. Now just to put some dice inside. And there you have it. It's a pretty easy sewing project, and I make these for all of my friends.